Telegram issue, Twitter, sorry. So we have our MA with Parallax Finance. I think our guest is already here. Dosi, how are you, man?
Hello, guys. Happy to be here. Right. I think another team member is here. Um, is he speaking? No, he's still a listener.
Hello, hey guys. Can you hear me?
You gotta speak loud.
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear you,
perfect.
Alex.
Yeah, welcome, guys. And sorry for the delay. It was a Twitter issue, and now we are good to go. Uh, how are you guys?
Great,
Um,
great.
it's a great day, but it's raining heavily outside. So, and I don't have just a fair warning. I don't have a great noise barrier wall, so it might affect my speech a little bit.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's all good. I'm very glad to have you here for today. Yep. So I think we have a good listener for now. I think we can start the AMA. So welcome everyone to Parallax AMA today here in Wise Crypto. We are so glad to have you here for today. We will start off by introducing the team and the project Parallax. Then we will move on to introduction question. Then we will move on to live question from you guys in the VC. So guys, yeah, welcome and please go ahead introduce yourself to the community.
Yes, hi. So hi everybody. I'm Arn, so you can just call me ARN. So I'm the project lead with Parallax Finance. So I also help out with business, some BD work along with all those, a bit of community management, maintaining the docs, and also reaching out to some of the projects that we're really working with right now. So yeah, so happy to be here, and our team has really been in this space for quite a long time. So they are, so their expertise really lies in UI development, smart contracts, and also they have really built some of the projects already out there that's already gone live, and it has really been doing well. But of course, I'm not able to share too much because the team doesn't want to be doxed. So yeah, so I'll hand over the mic over to how about community and yeah.
Knox, your voice is really soft. I think you gotta speak louder, and it's breaking.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, please, if you can.
Okay. Yep.
So I'm Odie. You can call me Odie. So I'm just the BD and partnership lead for Parallax. That's it.
Yeah, so welcome, guys. It's so glad to hear from you today and to have you here today. If you can, go ahead and give us a general look about Parallax. It will be amazing from you as a starter.
Yes, of course. So is my volume okay right now?
Louder.
Louder. Okay.
Yes,
So okay, I'm putting the mic real close to my mouth, so I'm not sure how close can that be.
no worries. Take your time, man. Take your time.
Okay. How about now? Is it better?
I think it's good enough to start. You can go ahead, man.
Okay. Yep. I'll go on. So I'll give you guys a brief introduction about what is Parallax and how we actually came about building it. So in short, Parallax actually aims to provide the liquidity infrastructure that empowers anyone, such as individuals, yourselves, DAOs, treasuries, and also other protocols to generate yield on Arbitrum. So actually, if you guys have already been following us, the first version of our product was just a very basic yield optimizer. So it works very similarly like how the vaults work at BV Finance. But we were going to do something cross-chain with Arbitrum and at the core, and a couple of months later, product ideas began to develop, and we realized that we couldn't just be an ordinary yield optimizer, because the way that Arbitrum is growing, we see that there's there's a lot of traction, and something that's really missing is several components, and they are called the yield Lego. So we have been building it, calling it the yield infrastructure, and we want to include all these little pieces that we are going to need to generate a yield for our users. So thereafter, we began to think a little bit deeper, and we changed our roadmap to try to build products along those lines, and which is why in more of our recent roadmap update, we expanded to include 4 other product offerings. So really with the goal of trying to be the liquidity and yield hub on Arbitrum. So like an yield optimizer, the yield structured product, our LSDfi product, and also our liquidity marketplace.
Amazing, man. Thank you very much. It was a good introduction for it. Dosi, do you have anything to add, man?
Do you want us to give you the reason why we are building on Arbitrum?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes. So so I can explain a little bit more on that. So why we decided to build on Arbitrum is because we started to see the growth on Arbitrum 7 months back. So we knew that the Arbitrum team was extremely professional. They were hardworking, and we are really hearing just positive things about them overall from our network. And we could also see activity picking up. So with all that macro stuff that's happening, and also with the ETH Shanghai upgrade, so I think that's a very good narrative to push one of our LSDfi product. And so we believe that Arbitrum is going to be the next big thing, at least in the coming 2 years. And also a couple of months into building, we're like, yeah, so this is definitely where all the action is going to be. And so we decided to commit ourselves to building on Arbitrum chain. And we're also seeing a lot more projects being built on Arbitrum, more than the other L1s over there, and by 2024. So we very strongly believe that that this thesis of ours would really work out, and this is something Parallax can build the future towards, and eventually we will see this whole ecosystem grow, and Parallax will grow along with it. And so a couple of reasons is because the biggest one is really that it's a really trending narrative, and we don't want to miss this hype train where every other project is building on, and that we have really noticed like more than half a year ago. So, and yeah, and also the second point is we saw that Arbitrum has garnered a lot of strong support from key figures within the Ethereum community. So this really helps to build credibility and also promotes the kind of adoption that all the projects on Arbitrum would need. And Ethereum is also home to many OG projects, and also very innovative ones. And we are really seeing most of these projects coming onto Arbitrum. And because of that, we believe that the TVL would increase, and that would really help propel Parallax forward. And also, I think the very last point that I want to make here is we saw that Arbitrum is continuously developing and also innovating. So they have a very strong marketing and also a BD team, and they have really given us a lot of support also in the project that we are building, and in terms of marketing. So this is really what we like to see in a chain, and we believe that Arbitrum will continue to stay competitive in this crypto space.
Amazing, Art. That was a very, very good reason. And as we all know, and you mentioned, Arbitrum is doing very, very well recently in the space. Arbitrum project are doing a very polished. So it's a good idea to follow the trend, and I think it's a good idea. Thank you, man, very much. So we can go ahead and start with 5 questions in the intro if you're ready. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, I can. Sorry. Did you ask a question?
Yeah. So you mentioned a little bit information about it, but I'm gonna ask again for the people who recently joined in. So as a starter, what is Parallax Finance? A quick general look about it, and yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, I think I've really explained a little bit about what Parallax Finance is, but I'll give a very short overview again. So basically, Parallax Finance is the liquidity infrastructure that will generate yields through strategy vault and through our four products. So basically, our yield optimizer product, our index structured product, our LSDfi product, and also through our liquidity marketplace. So as users deposits their funds into all these what we call structured products, they'll be able to earn yield on their assets. Yeah. So I hope that
absolutely.
I answered your questions. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, man, very much. Now, the second question says, before moving on to the second question, I want to ask my followers, our audience, to go ahead, check the website, check Parallax Twitter account, prepare some good question for the live question at the end of the MA. Now, the second question in the introduction says, Parallax unveils four new products that will change your DeFi experience. Could you say more about your four core products?
Yes. So definitely I can. So so I think many of the users or even researchers might not have actually realized that when looking at our Parallax documentation, they might not have realized the big potential that all these four products can actually bring to users, and also the protocols that want to use them. So basically, um, everyone here can think of these four products as Lego pieces that can be separate on their own, but also at the same time, all these Lego pieces can also be stacked and coming together, so building on top of one another, so to become something to create a really massive product. So with all these value accrual features, right? So yeah, so I'll begin explaining about our four key products here. So our very first product is called Orbital. So this is basically a yield optimizer. So this has already gone live in our alpha testing the app. So for those who have not signed up, so please do sign up, and you guys can see how amazing the UI is. So we have really gotten some positive feedback from the community, but also at the same time working on the feedbacks that needs to be improved to really bring this UI experience over to a next level, right? So what this Orbital does, it does compounding. So it basically deposits the entire pool that the users actually deposited into the vault. So pool all these funds together and then deposit this entire pool as one lump sum onto our partnering protocol. So that kind of aggregates the return a little higher for our users. And so the next product we have is called Andromeda. So you can think of this as like a index structured product. So where we built a multivariate yield optimizer. So think of it as like several orbital products coming together to form this big Andromeda product. So and also depending on how this vault is structured, so you would earn yields from the various vault strategies that's really incorporated into our Andromeda product. So users can gain exposure across multiple protocols at the same time, and without having to go into each one of those vault strategies individually. So let's say, so just give me an example. So let's say we have ETH and USDC on Sushi as the LP, and then we have another um, LP strategy called maybe Grail and ETH on Camelot, and then another, maybe the the last vault strategy would be GMX at the top. So all these three vault strategies come together into the Andromeda product, and how Parallax does it is we'll deposit user assets into all of these three different strategies and auto compound them. Well, the whole thinking process behind this is because it's really for simplicity. So it simplifies the user's actions, streamline their experience, and allowing them to gain multiple exposure across various protocols at the same time, and without having to interact with them individually on different platforms. And users don't have to withdraw the rewards manually because it gets auto-compounded, and this gives them a higher APY and also returns on their assets that they have deposited. And going forward, of course, in our V2, as we build towards a community-focused DAO approach, so strategists can step up, and we really highly encourage them to come forward and build their own index fund. So the third one we have is called Supernova. So this is our LSDfi product, and I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone here would have heard of LSD. So they are basically your staked version of maybe STE being the staked version of ETH. So we are going to release more detailed information about this in a couple of months. But the gist of it is that users are able to access recursive yields via these liquid staking derivatives. So let's say you will take liquid staked ETH, and you'll be able to deposit it into one of our vaults, and then we'll basically borrow that against a couple of lending partners, and use that borrowed assets to farm more yield. So this basically works very similarly like how Alpaca would work, and it's basically the same thing. So instead of using stable coins, we are basically using LSD here as the collateral. And again, these vaults would also be boosted by our own token, and you will see really juicy yields on our Supernova products. And the final one is called Black Hole. So you can think of it as like POL, Protocol-Owned Liquidity Marketplace. So similar to bond protocol, the Ohm style bonds where people can buy bonds for their tokens. So basically, users can essentially rent liquidity here, and they're able to buy tokens at a discount. Whether it's with a term or with a fixed term, so we haven't really decided on that, and but definitely we are going to do something a little bit different, like what bond protocol have done. And again, this product is still in the build, so we will release more information on that in a couple of months. But overall, I think I'll just give a very brief summary on how on our methodology for these four products. So basically, we want to try to build a liquidity infrastructure like a yield Lego kind of idea, and then this would help accumulate liquidity for protocols and also generate a really good yields for our depositors and users.
Amazing, man. Thank you. You explained the products very, very well. I think it's the idea, our audience received the idea of the four products. And yeah, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I think I can help in just summing up what they are. So Parallax would have four products, four core products. One is Orbital, so it's just yield optimizer. So and then Andromeda, where it's a index structure product, and then we have Supernova, so which involves LSD. So we're building on top of LSD to supercharge your yields. And lastly is it's called Black Hole. So Black Hole is basically it works similar to like a bond protocol where users can rent liquidity and or buy tokens at a cheaper price. That's about it. So what all this does is they are trying to they are just a Lego pieces for yield generation and jack up the liquidity for protocols. So it would be beneficial for all the participants. That's what we're trying to build.
Amazing. Thank you both guys for explaining the products very, very well. Uh, it was really amazing. You took your time and explained it very well to our audience. Thank you for that. Now we have a lot of audience at the moment, but there is sometimes a problem with the request. We can't accept your request to ask your question. So please, guys, if the live segment didn't work, you can go check the comments on the original post, big five question, and answer them after the AMA's end. Then send us the link, please. I'm sorry, it's a problem with Twitter. I don't know what the problem is, but we will figure it out. And now we will move on to the third question, if you guys are ready, and it's very related to what you mentioned in the previous question. So the question says, considering other decks, how do you handle fees for swaps and bridges and ensure the strategy remain profitable for you?
Yeah, of course, of course. I think, well, I think very firstly, I think we don't really compare ourselves to a DEX, so we are really the liquidity infrastructure natively built on Arbitrum. And what this means is that we empower everyone, um, depositors into the vaults, yield, and also projects, our partnering projects. We will help them accumulate liquidity. So yeah, so I'm not sure how why would you guys consider us to be very similar to our DEX? This might so one so something that I thought of could be actually our swap and bridge module over here for tokens. So basically, it functions like how you would it basically functions similarly to how you would do a token exchange on the DEX plus a huge bit into it. But this isn't really our core product, and this is one of the added feature that would really help users enhance the experience. So rather than having them to leave the platform to actually do this token exchange, they can do it natively on our D app without having to really leave the page. So here we integrated multi-chain to actually build this module, so users won't have to really leave the D app. And I guess so now it really turns to the question of how Parallax and the users can remain profitable and through our strategies, right? So right now, how we really ensure the profitability of the protocol is we'll take a performance fee. So based on the user's profit on this bot strategy. So we are still in the brainstorming phase on how we can actually optimize this fee so that it's not too expensive for the users to bear, and it is also optimal so that the protocol can remain profitable at the same time to actually pay off the operational expenses, marketing costs, and all the sort of other and all the sort of other expenses that the project will have to incur, such as salaries and everything. So this is something that the team is still currently trying to balance, and very likely in the coming week or two, we'll be able to release more information, and we'll publish that in our docs. And of course, we'll definitely have an article written about it.
Absolutely, man. Thank you very much. You you explained it, the decks and the profitable plans very well. Odis, do you have anything to add?
I think he's pretty clear this time. Yeah, I think that I have nothing to add.
All right, amazing, man. So thank you both for explaining the question. Now we will move on to the fourth question, which says, what is your plan about the token? How will the dynamic value model work with deposed withdrawals for other assets across various chains?
Yeah. So for the token wise, we will definitely. I mean, everyone here in the crypto space will definitely want to have a token for their own project. And how we does this is we take a very community-driven approach to actually think about our mechanics for our token. So definitely we'll be moving towards a DAO model, and some of that was already actually shared in our Discord, where we have a community contributor program. I think all this is a step towards a really a community-driven protocol that we really have in mind. So here we really encourage everyone to sign up, contribute in their own way that they think will actually benefit the protocol. Okay, so back to the token. We believe that the token will drive value generation. So you have um, features such as governance, fee capture. So we also have a performance fee in place, and for that, we really want to award our loyal token holders. So the majority of that fees will actually be shared with the, our token stakers, and that would really be the first iteration of it. We will definitely have more stuff in the future, and all this stuff definitely the DAO will have a very good, we have some sort of influence over it in a sort of proposals, and we will look into all these proposals and how we can enhance our token. So, but right now as it stands, we are looking at everything that we are building on how to really accrue value to it and the treasury. So as to our treasury, we will earn a small part of the fees, which will actually fund the project operating expenses, which I really shared a little while earlier. And in terms of probably token economics, emission schedules, and all of that. So we are still in the midst of brainstorming that and discussing with the core team. So right now, we are not able to share that as of yet, and I think you can expect something of that to come up in a couple of weeks' time. And yep. So I think moving on to your second part of the question is how would deposits and withdrawals work for assets through our dynamic vault module? So you can think of this dynamic vault module to be a layer that actually helps users more that helps users onboard into our vault strategies more smoothly. So basically, it's really the swap and breach feature that we have already in our alpha DApp. So basically, users can use that module to swap and to deposit or withdraw different assets across different chains. So if you actually look at our FAQ in our doc, so it shows one part of it shows the most complex flow. So it is where the users are able to deposit and withdraw different assets across different chains. But right now, what we have is we are building on Arbitrum, so things would be a bit simpler right now. But eventually, as we build cross-chain, this is something that we want to have, and we can think of it as like users being able to so we can think of a couple of scenarios where users across chains will actually want to deposit in our vault and how this would work out. So one of it is the first iteration, the first combination is actually where users deposit and withdraw same assets on the same chain as the vault. The second combination is where users deposit or withdraw same assets but on a different chain as the vault. And the third combination is where users deposit and withdraw different assets on the same chain. And the last combination is probably one of the most complex combination would be where users deposit and withdraw different assets on different chain. So what we the team idea is really to go cross chain eventually, and this is a really kind of the ideal scenario where we just allow users to enter into a vault strategy all in one click. So this dynamic vault pod module would really help the project move towards in that direction and achieve the kind of dream that we want to have. Yeah.
So I think I can add on the dynamic bot module. So
Yeah, go ahead.
the main purpose is to have a seamless experience and accessibility for the users to interact with the vault, uh, either the same chain or different chains. It doesn't matter. It's gonna be one click into it. So what we try to do for the entire protocol, regardless of what products that we're gonna offer, is to have simplicity in the interaction. I think that would be it. That would be the main takeaway.
Absolutely. Thank you both for explaining the strategy for the token. Our audience, you can go ahead and give their Twitter a follow, BarrelX Twitter follow, and go check the website. Stay updated for more news about the products and the token. So, guys, before we move on to the live question, we will take the final question from the introduction question, which is: how is BarrelX Finance different from other ELIT strategy protocols? What is the future plans? You already mentioned a little bit information about it. You can go ahead and expand.
Yes, of course, of course. Yeah, I can share that. So, generally, how we really differentiate ourselves is we are actually very committed to build this liquidity infrastructure, and also with a suite of products to actually generate yields, where all this suite of products can actually come together eventually when everything is built to actually um, 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 have a very good value accrual system back into the token, into the protocol, and also for the users themselves. And also, the team is really narrative reflexive, so they build and adapt quickly to really any changing narratives. So I've really seen what the core team has already built previously, and they've really gotten on some really good narratives, developed really good products, good UI, and we have our own in-house developers. And this really allow us to really customize solutions and bring forth the kind of um, ideas that the community have into our product. And we really have a lot of build. We really have a lot to build with just this roadmap alone of these four core products. But beyond that, we will have to see how this market actually evolves. Uh, really on how the narratives changes and how the community would want maybe certain features or certain products to be built. But the main key takeaway here is that we we want to be and again the liquidity and yield infrastructure component. So you can think of this as something like Lego pieces, put them together, and we will have a very good flywheel effect into the treasury and also into the protocol. So and also we really want to go cross-chain eventually. That's of course the ultimate goal. But we are starting off with Arbitrum for now because we really see the traction and hype in all of the projects that's coming, that's really coming and building on Arbitrum. And along with that, we believe in really real, the real new narrative where we bring users very sustainable and also at the same time supercharged yields. So really catering to users who are um, more looking for stable yields and also um, more speculative yields. And as you can see, we have really done some great um, great results with our Hacken security audit. So the team really focuses here a lot on safety and security, and we really don't want to risk the funds that users have invested with us. Yep. So that basically sums up on how we plan to be different, and our future plans really, at least for for the next couple of months, we are going to focus really a lot on building these four core products, but also at the same time when there are features and ongoing community suggestions, hearing from our network the kind of the kind of interesting features that they want to see in the product. So we can definitely build into them, and we'll take this on as a step-by-step approach. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Perfect. Odis, any word to say? Something to add?
I think that's a pretty comprehensive answer already.
Yep, agree. Yeah, so thank you both, guys. Thank you, Andy. You take a lot of time explaining everything very well to our audience. That is really, really great for you. Thank you very much. Before we move to the live question, if you guys both have anything to add, you have any last word or something you want to say before we move on to the live question, please go ahead.
I think we can move on to live questions. I'm more interested because I'm be reading it. It looks interesting, and we can answer them. Yeah, because there are a lot of information being omitted, so I think we can make things clear through the questions.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, as I said before, we have many audience here already, but we can't see all the requests from you guys. Please, if we can't see you, please cancel your request and resend the request again, so we can see it. I will start by picking Krish. I will pick Krish. Um,
Yeah, am I audible?
yeah, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, okay. So your my question is about your protocol name, Parallax. It's very different name. So is there any story or that motivates you to pick this name as your project name?
I think Knox has a perfect answer for it. It somehow relates to Arbitrum.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely I can share. So if you guys did a wiki search on what parallax is, so it's basically something related to the to, um, to space. So because Arbitrum is space theme as well, and parallax is one of the terms used in the space kind of space stuff. And so we just decided to go with parallax because I mean it aligns ourselves with the parallax yeah with the Arbitrum narrative.
To add on
Okay,
to that, yeah, just a little bit more like to add on to that. If you realize that right, for our products, we also name it with a space theme in mind. So like you optimizer, we have Orbital. For index structure product, we have Andromeda. For our LSDfi, we have Supernova, and for our bond for our liquidity marketplace, it's called Black Hole. So it's kind of revolved around the space team, and just coincidentally, that's Arbitrum. Arbitrum lifting to space, not to the moon, but lifting up to the space.
Okay, thank you, Krish, for asking your question, and thank you, guys, both for answering the question. Now I will move on to the second question.
Hello, can you hear me?
I see T gods.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So my question for Parallax Finance actually, I just want to know how you tend to, expand to non-English speaking region because I believe it to be difficult onboarding these users to your platform. So, what has been your strategy so far in you know, bringing
So
in?
this is really fantastic question. Thank you for asking that. So, right now, we already expanded to international as a starter. So we open chat groups for international communities. So to roam out with the rest of the community. At the same time, we just recently launched a contributor program for anyone who's interested in working with us, especially to take care of the regional communities. So it's not being published yet, but we want to be able to cater that, which is translate documents, especially docs, or have one-page information, just to help different users from different regions to be able to understand our protocol, get involved, interact with it. Yep, those are within our consideration as part of our roadmap for sure.
Right, thank you, man, for answering the question. Thank you, T-God. It was a really good question. Now we will go ahead and pick John Rick.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So my question regarding about your ambassador program. So do you have a program for ambassador? If so, how do I get involved? And can you tell us what the ambassador benefits are? Thank you, sir.
So you mean ambassador, right?
Yeah,
If I'm not wrong. Okay, so for ambassador, so ambassador basically creates banners. So generate banners for the protocol. But what we have here is a contributor program. So it covers a wider aspects of a contribution. So inclusive of ambassadorship. So and we are definitely building. If I'm not wrong, on our roadmap, we are building a referral system at the same time, but we are also inviting people who specialize in different activities like moderation, creating content. That anyone who wants to help out, who wants to contribute, be a part of this protocol to join as contributors. So, ambassadorship is just one of them that you can participate. Hope that answered your question.
Right, Odysseus, thank you, man. Yeah, it did, for sure. And thank you, Kalioni, for your question. And
thank you,
now
sir.
we,
Keep
we
going,
can,
sir. Thank you so much.
yes, thank you. Now we will go ahead and pick the next question from Hunter Boy. Hunter, you can speak now. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can.
Yep.
Thank you. My question is about a stacking program. Do
About
I
what?
start? Yeah, stacking program. Do you
Instagram.
start stacking program? Sorry.
Okay.
Staking program.
Yeah, staking program. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
When do
Got
you start it? Do you have start a stacking program?
Oh, do we have a
He is
staking
asking if,
program?
yeah, he is
Okay,
asking if
okay.
you have a staking
Yes,
program. Yeah.
yes. We will have that later on once we go live. But right now in our alpha app, we do not have that yet. Yeah. Yep. So we'll definitely have that. Not to worry.
Can you provide more information, or you will keep it like
We'll provide more
for future?
information when the token model is being released. So that's gonna come in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
All right, absolutely. Thank you, boys, for answering the questions. Thank you, Hunter Boy. Now the next question is from Lucifer. You can speak now, man. Give us your question, please.
Okay, so I just want to ask that why you build on Arbitrum network and what benefit you get from this network?
He already answered that question. I think he wasn't with us in the beginning, but Arnett, you can go ahead and respond real quick about it.
Yep. I'll just summarize it. So the Arbitrum team is extremely professional. They were hardworking, so just positive things. So and then despite all the macro stuff happening around the DeFi or around the Web3 and crypto space, the activity is still picking up. So we believe that that's is still going to be a next big thing, and a lot more projects are going to be built on Arbitrum, at least for next 2 years. That's what we are seeing, and we can definitely like help a lot of participants in growing this entire ecosystem. And we're not just talking about the tech side of Arbitrum, like um, on solving the trilemma on the scalability, on the cost, on the security, and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's one of the main trending narrative right now. So why not?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lucifer, for your question, and thank you guys for answering the question. So I think we come to the end of the AMA today. It was really amazing from you guys explaining the product, the token, Barrel X, everything about Barrel X. It was really amazing from you guys. If you have any last word for our audience before we wrap it up for today, you can please go ahead and say.
Yeah, I'm just reading the comments, like the questions on the comment section. So people are asking about the marketing and on marketing, capital infusion, and the security side of things. So right, so even for alpha product, we take our so we strive for the maximum security. I mean, so even for our alpha product means that we haven't even launched. So for alpha version, we our vault, our product is already being audited by Hackett. So one of the biggest names in the audit security audit industry, and we get a perfect score. So feel free to check the audit report, and we have scheduled with other security firms like Certic. So for bug bounty, we have IndianFi, and I think we are in talks with Heads Finance, right, for the
Yes,
community
Heads
audits.
Finance. Yep.
Yeah, and we're gonna get a protocol review from Rockdog, DeFi Safety, and Insure Ace. So we take our security very seriously on because it involves user assets. So yeah, we're gonna have a soft approach on all these things. So in regards to marketing, uh, so we are moving towards launch. So you would see a lot of marketing efforts um, being done in the coming week and month, especially in the month of April. It's gonna be a busy month, and some people are asking whether are we building our community? Yes, we are. We do have team for marketing, so focus on that to spread the awareness on this protocol, and we have a lot of activities for our community as well. For example, but it's right now because of the complexity of the product. Many may not understand how this product can help the users and overall participants in this space. So we have quiz, we have thinking puzzle, we have strat contest, just to help onboard users in a streamlined, gamified educational way. So feel free to hop on our Discord or join our community quest for all this. And if you are a DeFi lord, you are you want to help us out, join us uh, as our contributors.
Yes.
Amazing, man.
So
Thank you for.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead. Sorry.
I have some last words, if you don't mind me speaking.
Yeah, please,
So
please go ahead. Yeah.
yeah. So please remember to follow Parallax, join the Discord, follow Wise Crypto as well, and you can see that in our Discord we have already onboarded quite a few big names and some CT chats already are already in our Discord, and they've already been following our Twitter, and you can see that for yourselves. So yeah, hop on in, ask your questions, and our mods and ourselves will be happy to share. We'll be happy to share our responses based on your questions.
Yep, our community
Amazing.
is pretty nice, very decent. So just hop on, and if you have any question, just hit us up on Discord. Um, and our alpha testing is live, by the way, so it's open to anyone. So is there any rewards coming as an alpha tester? Yes, there is. So hit us up.
Amazing, guys. Thank you both for coming in today. Thank you for Barrel X to stop by and share us this great idea you have about DeFi. Guys, we had more than 1,000 listeners for today. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. If you are a DeFi lover, you can jump in Twitter, Discord, and look out for the reward and more updates from Barrel X. Thank you, guys. It was really nice having you today here. Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you for hosting. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you both.
Thank
Have
you,
a good day.
everybody.
See Yeah.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.